mama.
I know. Hey, you guys. Welcome to an amazing Monday. Did y'all have an amazing Monday? I did too. All the amazing things. So, ask us your questions. We'll tell you no lies. Wasn't that a song, Cindy? Ask me no questions. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and for those of you who haven't met, I'm Karen Mayer Cunningham, Special Education Boss, training everyone that sits at the 504 IEP table to navigate and negotiate successful student outcomes. So, we want to start off with this amazing book is coming out next month. How many of you guys went and got the book? You guys went and got the book? You got the book, right? Everybody got the book. So, we are having a special right now. Look at all those hearts. Just through the pub date. So the pub date is the date that it's going to ship to y'all. So go and order it ahead of time. Come back to us, theepic.com. Put in your information and you will get $500 worth of pre-order bonuses. But as an additional bonus, we have upgrades, larger book orders for people that want us to come and train their group, their parent group, their agency, their social workers, their diagnosticians. And so we have started booking them for 2026. That sounds like so far away, doesn't it? So if you are interested in hosting me to come to your state in person and do your training live versus virtual, then just reach out to us and we will get you connected with the great Angie Panuti. She's going to be, she is hosting the hosters. So she will get you the information and the requirements. We already have things scheduled in, where is it, Cindy? In Lakeland, Florida, Orlando, Florida, Louisiana, several places in Texas, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain. No, anyway. So if that's something you are interested in, then reach out to us and we will get you connected to get that information. And then that can be scheduled anytime in 2026. That sounds so weird, doesn't it? I still think it's like February. I don't know how it's the last month of the year. So we want to come and train you guys. Lots of bonuses with the upgrades. So if you go to theepic.com/upgrade, you can see what those bundles are so that you get amazing training. So are you so excited, Cindy?
I am so excited. Today, when I was in the pickup line waiting for my cherub, I heard a parent say, I'm exhausted, I'm scared, I just want to give up. And I immediately showed your book and said, this is going to be your answer to being non-exhausted. Well, you're still going to be exhausted because kids are kids, but it's less scary and, oh my gosh.
Yeah, super excited. It's so needed. You know, we have this amazing federal special education law that was given to us, 50 years ago. And we just tell teachers, get in there. You're doing a great job. Go Bobcats. And so while we have law books and legal books, we have evaluation books. We don't have a roadmap for how to write and develop and curate the Epic IEP. So you can get this anywhere on any platform where you order books. But, we want you to know the same roadmap that I would use if I was representing your child, if I represented my child, if I was representing Cindy's child, if I was training you to be a full-time advocate. It's the exact 7-part framework that we use. And literally after the end of the book, you could take a blank piece of paper. Well, hopefully it's more than one piece of paper and write an Epic IEP. We're so busy with schools training them on software. Ugh. Good news is IDEA never talked about software or the stinking state test, did they, Cindy? The state test. No. If I have to hear one more time about the state test, I'm gonna ho-ho somebody. Can you ho-ho? Have you ever done that in a meeting? Yeah, which is why
anybody can, you can.
Which is why I just do Zoom so nobody gets ho-ho. So if you're interested in that, it's a limited time because once we publish, there won't be any more bundles or any bonuses. So if that's something that you're considering that might be appropriate for your group, your entity, your parents group, your school district, reach out to us. We are headed to the great warm state of Kentucky the second week in February. I'm certain that I can just wear my volleyball shorts, right, Cindy? What is that thing that you guys have up north? The white stuff that hits the ground. What do you call that?
No.
Snow. Snow.
Yes.
Never heard of it. But I have outfits that I've never gotten to wear because we only wear a coat in Texas for the restaurants because they're freezing. So anyway, all right, you guys, ask us your questions. How did your Monday go? Did everybody do what you said? I like this, and I was in a meeting today. She goes, I don't know why we have to keep talking about it. We already told you we're not going to do it. We already told you we're criminals. We're not going to do it. So if you would just capture that you're not going to do it in a prior written notice, we will know how to move forward. So.
Oh, the things people say out of the mouths of babes. But
the things that people say on a recording. A recording. Like, I hear Jim. I hear Jim.
So, does the book go through the process of what to do if an IEP isn't being followed?
No. I guess that will be the next. The next book will be called the Ba-Bam from the Big Boss. Yeah, that would be my next book, right, Cindy?
Absolutely. And you know what? While we're talking about the next book, why don't we just talk about the next third, fourth, or fifth book? Because I'm pretty sure people are going to want that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Somebody said, do you have to handle a lot of lawsuits? I participated in a lot of disagreements and state complaints and federal complaints and due process hearings. Yes, I'm about to participate in my fourth one just this second half of the year. So I don't want to file. I just want you guys to kind of 70% do what's right by kiddos. I mean, we're looking for a good C-. We'd be happy. But when you tell us
Absolutely.
that I was told today in a school district, and I won't tell you what their name is, because then that way everybody will think it's their school district. There are lots of kids in special education that only have a para. I said, actually, I would agree with you on that. It's not legal, but I would agree with you on that.
What makes sense for that person who asked the question, does this book go through the process of what to do if an IEP isn't being followed? Would it make sense for them to join the academy?
Yeah, join the academy. So the Epic IEP Weekly Academy, every Monday night I train on federal law in series, and then we open it up for questions. So if you want to grow and have weekly professional development, join the academy. That's where we get all of your questions answered, where you get resource, where we send you templates, and 75% of the people we train, you guys, are school-based members. You know why? Because schools don't properly and comprehensively train their employees. They don't. Cindy, you were a teacher for 27 years. Was it more or less than 50 trainings that you had on special ed? More or less?
Oh, less.
Less than 30?
Less than 3.
Oh, I mean, I feel like 3 in 3 decades is plenty. Right? You don't want to overdo it.
And that's not to say that they were correct either.
Right. I like it. Yes, so the academy is $97 a month. And there's no commitment. You could leave if you wanted to, and we would be okay with that because people make mistakes. You can come back anytime, but you definitely want to join the academy.
In special education pre-K, deny entry into special education kindergarten and instead make them a life skills program.
So when we leave ECSE, early childhood special education, we have to have a meeting, right? And we have to talk about LRE. So here is the thing about LRE and going straight from ECSE or PPCD or pre-K straight into a life skills classroom. I would argue that you never tried LRE because there's no requirements for kids that are 3, 4, and 5 to go to school. Most states, the first required grade is first grade. So because a parent, a grandparent, a surrogate parent, a step parent received the benefit of having ECSE, then you're using that data against them. If somebody had a child that was disabled and they never went to public school and they showed up day 1 of kindergarten, where would they go? Would they go to a self-contained room? No, they would go to general ed, right? And then, LRE is a consideration that we have the best place to implement the student's IEP. So for me, you're penalizing that student because they were already in special education. You haven't had them in general ed reading. You haven't had them in general ed language arts, because those things don't exist before kindergarten. So we're going to go ahead and put them in general ed classes with support. And then if that's unsuccessful, we'll pivot and add different supplementary aids and services. And if that is still unsuccessful, then we can talk about a more supported setting. We are not going straight to self-contained.
Do you have a special chapter on OHI qualifications for an IEP?
So I don't have a special chapter on that. We certainly go in length and in detail about the importance and the types of evaluations that you ask for. The bigger problem before an eligibility is that we did insufficient testing. And so testing does one of two things. It identifies or eliminates. We want both. And most parents don't have the correct language around testing. And so they'll say, oh, I want Mikey tested for dyslexia. His cousin has dyslexia. Okay. Well, then that means we didn't do a comprehensive cognitive evaluation. So if there is, in fact, other SLDs, we missed that. So, but an other health impairment is a medical condition that is acute, that's expected to impact the individual for a lifetime and may be treated with medicine. And so that would be ADHD, epilepsy, cancer, encephalitis, dysautonomia, diabetes, those sorts of things. Things that are not an OHI are genetic differences, things that are orthopedic in nature, those sorts of things.
Can a student with an EB diagnosis and an IEP be expelled from a school?
Anybody can be expelled from school if we believe that the action was not correlated to the characteristics of their disability or connected to our failure to implement the IEP with fidelity.
What is curb-to-curb transportation able to provide? Can they provide drop-off school to ABA?
So they will either provide the student to your home or provide the student to after-school daycare. But it would be great if they dropped us off at the mall, wouldn't it? But no, it's to either after-school care or your home.
What happens when a school will not communicate if my child is having high behaviors? They simply refuse. What do I do?
So I would just email and say, you're choosing to stop communication with me impedes my ability to collaborate with you for him to have a successful educational setting. Is there somebody else in the district that we could communicate with? Somebody said, can you make a career out of advocating?
Oh.
I think so. Yeah. So that's what we do. We train people to be advocates. This weekend, Saturday and Sunday, will be our last 2-day, the Epic IEP 2-day intensive. It'll be the last live one, probably for at least 8 or 9 months, because we're starting the book tour and the training starting in January. So if you're interested in that, because we know what you guys do, we make decisions in February to pivot. So definitely be a part of that.
Can teachers be asked to not propose change of placement or services until after an evaluation during an ARD?
I mean, we talk about a change of placement because that's a consideration we need to have right now.
Is there anything a parent can do if a school is excluding the resource room kids from programs?
What kind of programs are they excluding them from? Like, do you mean like field trips or assemblies or, being in the Christmas play? What exactly are they excluding them from?
Good question. That's from Chloe, just in case it comes in on the bottom.
Okay.
As an ESN teacher, why is paperwork for a student receiving one-to-one support so difficult?
I don't know. I don't know the paperwork you're being asked to complete.
Does the 5 days for a PWN start the day parents have it physically in their hands or the date on it?
So the PWN is to be provided to the parent with 5 days before the action is going to occur. So procedurally and substantively, you would have to provide it to the parent. So Often if we're in an IEP meeting and say the school district recommended something ridiculous, and then we disagree, we would say a parent disagrees, a parent does not waive their 5 days. So, you legally have to provide it to the parent so that they have notification of your actions and that they have a little bit of time to plan on their next steps.
Somebody would like to know what your name is.
Karen Mayer Cunningham, International Global Life Changer. It's long, but it fits on a business card.
It might be long, but it's truthful. I'm a parent. My student graduated last year, but came back. I have in a room by myself. Is that legal?
If you're alone with a child in a room all day, that's not a classroom.
Sorry, what is your name again? Okay, we cleared that one. There we go. I tried to request services from your agency. I don't think anyone has ever gotten back to me. Can I put in another request?
Yeah, just email us at advocate@specialeducationacademy.com or just fill out the form again.
Where can I do the career for IEP students?
The career? So we have training, right? So we have our weekly, the Epic IEP Academy, which is where we have weekly professional development. So you could join that. We also have the 2-day intensive, which is coming up this weekend live, the 13th and the 14th. Is from 9 to 5 Central Standard Time. You can always take that on demand. And then for people that are really ready to become a full-time advocate working nationally, we have the Mastermind, which starts December 28th. But for the Mastermind, the 2-day intensive is a prerequisite.
How can I determine if the district is not meeting my child's needs?
If your child is not making expected progress and gains on the IEP. So the law says to meet the standard of FAPE is one, did the SEA meet their obligations procedurally? And then number 2, did we write an IEP to enable the student to make progress appropriate in light of their circumstances? And if they're not making progress appropriate in light of their circumstances, we need to change the IEP.
What do you hope that the decision makers at the state departments of education to feel when they read your book?
Excited about educating kids with disabilities. It's a book of hope. It's going to reignite your passion for doing this. People always say, don't forget your why. I would challenge you to not do that. Don't forget your who. And the who is a child with a disability who's counting on you as a teacher, who's counting on you as an advocate, who's counting on you as a parent to stand in the gap for them. And this book is going to do that.
So Chloe answered, she said Christmas programs that the whole school is in.
Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. So that's an administration concern. So I would take that up with the principal. That's terrible.
Tell me your thoughts on parents getting alerted of truancy due to teachers sending home for behavior.
So if you send home a child, everybody listen, you choose to send home a child that has not completed the instructional day because of behavior, that's an expulsion, whether you said it was or not. So that's a school issue, not a parent issue. That's not truancy. That's a denial of a free, appropriate public education.
Oh, Chloe shared that. The kids won't be a part of it because some may not do well in crowds, but there was no conversations of whether they believed they would or they wouldn't.
Yeah, that's an assumption. Yeah.
Yes. I am in the classroom. I am responsible for tracking IEP goals and class work. And, oh, there's no more. Carrie, I need more. Okay, we'll see if that comes in on the bottom. Any recourse if a parent of a teacher called CPS for an unfounded allegation after a hard IEP meeting?
No, and it's happened to me. It's happened to, it's actually how I got my start in special education. My son's 3-year-old PPCD teacher called Child Protective Services on us about 5 weeks after he had started school. That's how I got into special education. Woohoo! So unfortunately, if I want to call every day and report Cindy, I can. It's such bad manners, and parents of a child with disability are going through enough. They have the highest rate of divorce. They live in constant crisis. They, there's no days off, right? So does that happen? Absolutely. Do I see that happen with my clients sometimes? Absolutely. Is it ridiculous? Absolutely. Do I do it back to them? No, because I have a moral compass. But, it's just perverting a system that was used to protect children.
My son was put in a 3-person hold, and they aren't allowing me to see the full video, only 20 seconds. Thoughts?
So, the district has a requirement to look at the video when you have a concern and determine if they believe that there is harm or something inappropriate happening. If they believe that, they, of course, then have to provide it to you. If you have a child come home and you can show by video or pictures that clearly he was harmed, whether it's bruising or bleeding or scrapes or bites, then that would also predicate the requirement for them to show you the video. But they are only going to show you a little tiny bit.
I'm a self-contained teacher. Can an inclusion teacher send their students to me because of student behavior?
No. This is not a waiting room. This is not a lobby. These are educational settings.
Let's see. Oops. And parents confirmed child had not been kidnapped, and then the teacher called CPS after that. Oh, God. Statement, not a question, sorry. Can teachers be asked to not propose change of placements? Oop, duplicate, sorry. Sorry about that. Long by myself, no teacher. I track the IEP goals and I do his lessons. Is it legal?
No, you cannot be alone with a child in a room because that's not a classroom, right? We can have all different settings, but that's not a classroom. So places where that would be appropriate, homebound, hospital bound, that sort of thing. But a school must provide a classroom for kids.
What is the difference from a SPED para and a speech para as far as duties?
There's no such thing as SPED paras, right? There are paraprofessionals, there are level 1 aides, there's teachers assistants. Just have different language across the United States. I think that there is, I want to say New Jersey, one of those states where they have the snow thing, that there is some language under a state statute. But I was in a meeting today. And if they said a special education para once, they said it 100 times. I said, stop saying that. That is not a job that you can get certified for in Texas. Stop saying that. They are an aid, and they are an integral part of education, whether it's general ed or special ed, but they are not special education paras. And when you say that to parents, you're inferring that that individual has special education certification. It's manipulation.
Can SPED ASD teachers leave all the minutes to be done by their SPED para?
Can they do it, or is it legal? Yeah, so
is it legal?
It's not legal because the special education teacher has to work with that student, right? Develop rapport, work on IEP goals. Can the para or the level 1 aide replicate it? If the special education teacher has 3 things: direct supervision, close proximity, and frequent control. 3 things: direct supervision, close proximity, and frequent contact. I love today. I was in a meeting and they said, well, we disagree with your interpretation. I said, there's no interpretation. Direct supervision, close proximity, and frequent contact. That's not interpretation. It's actually words in the statute. Somebody asked if I was AI. Yes, I am authentic intelligence.
Would a pullout be best for my 5th grade student reading at a K1 level with decoding issues?
If your child is reading 5 grade levels behind, general ed is not the right setting for them right now. So yeah.
My children are all grown and all 3 are college graduates. Thank you so much for all of your dedicated time and help to making that happen.
Oh, thank you, love. Thank you.
Let's see. Up to truancy. It was several random days, not enough to be considered consecutive days. Does it matter if they are consecutive?
No.
For
no,
truancy?
It don't matter. It don't matter. No, a day is a day. Hopefully they're not consecutive days, but yeah.
Is it legal for a SPED teacher to deliver 2-to-1 SAI and oversee 2 other paras students?
I mean, if they're in the same room, if they're down the hall, over the meadow, and they're Norelco Santa. Remember that? Remember Santa when he's in the Norelco shaver? You are either in the same room or you are not. If I have one more meeting about them telling me that we are supervising their paperwork, good news. The law doesn't care about how you supervise paperwork. They care about how you supervise humans. Is that a new speaker for Stephanie? Or is that a skillet?
No, I just usually have it.
Oh my gosh, look at her. I feel like she's gonna like make some sort of R&B recording. Hi, welcome to Evenings with Stephanie. Well, we put the M in MDR.
Fantastic. Why do we have to wait so long for the book?
You don't have to. You could go to Simon & Schuster and knock on their door and say, send out the book. Let me know how that works out. I can't do that. So it's only next month. And the good news is if you order it now, you get the pre-order bonuses. So that's an extra special. Somebody said, who are you? And somebody said, who are you and what is your title? So I am Karen Mayer Cunningham, Special Education Boss, training everyone that sits at the 504 IEP table to navigate and negotiate successful student outcomes. Who are you, Cindy?
Who are you?
Well, Cindy doesn't even have a right name on her thing.
I don't.
It says,
I have my much older sister's name.
Yeah, ET phone home.
When I was a kid waiting for Christmas morning, that is the feeling I have now at 52 years old waiting for your book.
It's coming, it's coming.
So it was Christmas. Can districts provide one-to-one aids for highly aggressive students?
I mean, if that's what's appropriate. I don't know that a one-to-one aid teaches you a replacement behavior. I think that we get so excited about a one-to-one, and I think that parents don't know what the benefits and the drawbacks are, right? So there's not a necessary requirement for one-on-one for instruction. So, you know, if you need support, let's advocate and get that in there. But I don't find very often that a child needs one-on-one for the entire instructional day. If they need one-on-one for the entire instructional day, we're probably giving them too much exposure to general ed.
Thank you for your advice. If my child is unable to participate and the principal makes that rule, who do I go to above the principal?
You go outside in front of the school board location and go live on your device and just talk your face off. That's what I would do. See, the problem is that most people are upset, but they don't complain correctly, right? And so one of the things that we teach this weekend in our 2-day is how to file effective state complaints and federal complaints that have a bite to them. Oh, there's a pair from Illinois. Are we coming to Illinois, Elena Thomas, Cindy? We're close to Illinois in one of the stops, right? Does Illinois touch Kentucky? Did you know that Kentucky touches 7 states? I had to go buy a Rand McNally map for the 2026 book tour. And There are other states other than Texas. Who knew that?
And we could get you little wiki stickies and you could put on each place that we go.
Yes, please mail those to me. I'll start stickying my wikiing.
New Jersey has an LRE issue. But on the flip side, we have a ton of self-contained options. What do you think about this?
So I have a client in New Jersey now, and it is a mess. It is a mess. Mess. So you get a pair. It was a class of 9 kids with 9 pairs. That is ridiculous. So somebody said, are you coming to Utah? I was just in Utah, in Provo, doing the state transition conference. But if you would like me to come to Utah, if you'd like me to come to New York, if you'd like for me to come to California, then reach out to us. Angie is going to be getting together with people that want to host me. When we launch the book, we will be doing trainings for people that do an upgrade package. And so Ohio, I'm coming to Ohio, aren't I? I'm going to be in Ohio February 15th. Well, there will be no snow. I'm just saying it. There's going to be no snow. Wilmington. And then we're going to Northern Ohio. Like, I know what that is. All I want to know is, do they have Dr. Pepper in Ohio? Do they have that? And,
I'm sure.
And do they have coffee? They have coffee?
Oh, certainly. Yes.
Okay.
Definitely coffee.
I like coffee.
I love coffee. Almost as much as I love you.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Gen Ed second grade student on the radar for SPEC. Weeks of data needed. Behavior mainly. Is this necessary?
You want to have the data to support a recommendation for programming, an IEP, a behavior intervention plan, those sorts of things. But when you say weeks, I don't know how many weeks we're talking about. Not a half of a year.
So what would you suggest that I could do with my question about the ASD teacher giving the paras the minutes to complete? How do I go about this?
You would find an advocate that's willing to file. So advocates can file on a student that we represent, and we can also file on behalf of a group of students. So if there's something going on, it's rarely just happening to one student.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hang on. There we go. My little one is on kindergarten IEP. They're nonverbal. How do I protect my kiddo? He keeps getting hurt in the school, and I'm not sure what to do.
So, you need to sit down with the district and say, he's coming home hurt and injured. Where is that occurring? What can we do to mitigate it?
I'm going to read this one. I'm not sure. It doesn't make sense to me, but maybe it will to you. It says, record to turn in teacher who doesn't use required microphone for deaf students.
Yeah. So that means, a student that has an amplification system, if I was that student's teacher of record, when they came in my class, part of their DHH itinerant needs, and that would be in their deaf and hard of hearing supplement, is that they need an FM system. So that is sort of like a necklace that has a microphone on it, and it literally connects Bluetooth to the student's hearing aids. So if you're not doing that, we got a problem. And if we got a problem, I'm going to ask for you to fix it. And if you don't fix it, then we're going to file. So that's a denial of FAPE. And here's the good news. It's really simple, you guys. Say it with me. We're delivering FAPE. We're denying FAPE. No gray area. None.
It's so awesome. What do you do when a district refuses a one-on-one, but won't put it into a PWN?
Then I would respond to their PWN saying that you misrepresented the contents of our meeting and you forgot to add the part where you denied the parent a one-on-one.
In New Hampshire, can an SLP be left alone in a self-contained room with highly aggressive ASD students?
I don't know why you would be left alone in a self-contained room because another teacher has that. Somebody said, so Logan said, what if the teacher cannot use Bluetooth due to health reasons? So the Bluetooth connection is for the hearing aids. It's not in the microphone.
Can you briefly touch on least restrictive environment for behavior and autism students?
So I can touch on least restrictive environment for students. So LRE is not a location. LRE is not general ed. LRE says that we educate students with disabilities to the maximum extent possible with their non-disabled peers with support strategies and supplementary aids and services. So there are some kiddos that will never be in general ed. It's not appropriate for them. And so when we have a child with needs, academic, emotional, behavioral, functional, communicative, we look at content areas and say, in this content area, what is the best place to implement their IEP? And then that discussion drives consideration for the schedule of services page, or as you had mentioned, the placement.
So you need to go to Santa Barbara, you need to go to Utah, you need to go to Buffalo, New York, you need to go to Ohio. I think you have a lot of people who want to host you.
I think that we need to just get on the bleached blonde boss bimbo bus, Elena, and let's hit the road. Yeah. If you're wanting that, just reach out to us at Advocate at Special Education Academy, or just go to specialeducationacademy.com, fill out the form saying you want to get connected with the person who is in charge of mapping out my year, where we'll be the hostess with the mostest.
I am so willing to drive the bus.
I've seen you drive, Cindy. We'll have somebody else drive the bus that faces forward. Cindy likes to really do that full body listening. And if you're in the car with her, it's concerning. Yeah. And she likes to drive on the middle lane. Like, get over on the side. She goes, what did you say? No, I didn't say anything. And if you point to the right, she goes left. She has directional dyslexia.
Maybe I'm just looking in the mirror.
Mirror.
I am providing input at my child's IEP meeting, and they won't change anything that I request or amend any goals. Thoughts?
So under 300.324, the federal code, you should go to 34 CFR, and print this out. So this is 300.324, development, review, and revision of an IEP. These are the 4 parts. Number 1, the strengths of a child. Number 2, the concerns of the parent for enhancing the education of their child. Number 3, the results of initial and most recent evaluation of the child. The academic, development, and functional needs of the child. Where do those things go? In the present levels. So they need to put your parent concerns for enhancing the education of their child in the present levels. If they don't, that is predetermination. That's denied you IEP team membership and meaningful participation in the IEP process. And that's going to be a problem when we file a state complaints that you guys were banana heads. And banana heading is a full-blown state violation, isn't it, Elena? We're thinking about opening up a special education jail. It's not going to actually have a door, but people that break the law in special ed will just have to go in there for the whole day and sit and think about what they've done without any snacks. Do you think that would help, Cindy?
I do.
If we would de-snack them? If we would de-snack.
Yes.
And no coffee.
Yes.
No coffee.
Oh.
One dry protein bar. That's it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Okay, here's the big question. How do I let a parent know their middle schooler is not getting push and support that they are supposed to be getting in ELA?
You confidently and tell them that. Confidently, that's not a word. Confidentially.
Confident.
Yeah. Today I was in an IEP meeting and I said, this says we don't initiate. And she said, it's intimidate. Okay, we don't initiate intimidate. I was like, why do these words look so close to each other?
Because the end of the year is coming.
Yes, it's coming. I only have 7 more school days. You guys put in the chat, how many school days do you have left? And don't act like you don't know. Don't act like you're not counting. So I am done the 18th. The 19th, I'm just going to be laying on a bearskin rug. You know, the things I usually do at the end of the week. 0. Somebody said 0. Andrew said 7.5. Look at these, 10 days, 7 days, 10.5. You guys skip the half day. Just tell them you have an eyelash in your eye. Just tell them that the special education boss said you didn't have to go the last day. We voted. We're not going. Oh, somebody says 9 effing days. Does that mean like F from the Elf movie?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, 9 effing days. Yeah. Elizabeth has 7 to 8 days. She's not sure. Elizabeth, just go with 7. Don't do the 8th one. Or what the kids say now, 6, 7.
I have to look that up. And as a parent of a child with special needs, this is when, you appreciate your teachers and parents even more because you do not have them for those 2 weeks. God bless you. I love you. Rest up. But boy, oh boy, I miss you.
Oh, Elizabeth says we have a dyslexia training manana. I would love to know what that training is. Can you record that, Elizabeth? Do you get a slide deck, a PowerPoint? Do you guys like a PowerPoint, or do you like a really good trainer? Say it with me. A really good trainer. Do you guys have good trainers? Do you guys have good professional development? Put in the chat if there's somebody that's coming to your school that did a great professional development. I just did a podcast with Mr. Viraga. You guys know him? He is on the TikTok. He has the difficult student. So good. So adorable, too. I don't mean like in a biblical way. He was just, he lives in Los Angeles. He said I was the first person to ever duet one of his videos that was famous. I was like, was I famous? When I'm walking the dog in the neighborhood and scooping things up behind her, nobody recognizes my famousness. Not the dog, not the neighbors. I
walked through Epcot with you, so I know the truth. So I feel this one. Alyssa, she says, we're not allowed to take a personal day before or after a holiday. And in some states that is true.
You can't be a person around the holidays?
No, how dare you?
You know what you could have, not that I'm recommending this, a good thing to say that you have, I shouldn't even say it, vertigo. Right? You don't go to the doctor and it goes away in a few hours. Who's going to argue with that? Not that I'm telling you to, I would never tell you to lie. Sometimes we have to, what's the word that I'm looking for? Embellish. Like a jacket. So if you want to sign up for the Academy, go to specialeducationacademy.com and then it will say the Academy.
What are your recommendations if CSE keeps allowing parents to request more related service even if it's not needed?
Who's requesting it?
The parents are requesting more related service even though their child does not need it.
So, then you provide them the data that supports that there's not a need for that. We have 3 different settings, right? We have an educational setting, we have a therapeutic setting, and we have a medical setting. Those are all different, but during an instructional day at school, we have to look at 2 things, meaningful benefit and a harmful effect. And while a lot of parents would like to have services all day long, we still have to provide them instruction around core content and all of those pieces. So we make decisions solely based on 1 4-letter word. Say it with me. Data. And we either have the data to support our recommendation, or we don't.
Excellent. My son was just granted an IEP, and we are planning it out right now. Do you have any recommendations?
So he wasn't granted. Santa Claus grants wishes, right? So he qualified for an IEP, right? So you need to make sure that what he qualified, he's going to receive. So the eligibility category doesn't drive services, but it opens the door for services. So whatever his eligibility categories are, make sure that you have the right services, supports, IEP goals, and the right minutes to implement, measure, and progress monitor.
How much of an IEP is legal for parents to look at?
The whole thing. H-O. The whole thing. It is so bizarre to me that people can only see part of the IEP. Then why do we write it? If part of it's sufficient, why do we write the whole IEP? That's like saying, I'm going to show you a picture of somebody's arm, and then I want you to pick them out of a crowd. What? We need to see the whole IEP. It builds on itself.
What to do about this? Outside services scored the child as significantly impaired, but the school scored them as within normal limits. For example, working memory and executive functions. Now what?
Now what? So do you need that impairment for an eligibility? Do you need that impairment for a specific learning disability? So did you do the outside evaluation and then the school? So I would never recommend that. Have the school do their evaluation. If you don't agree with the school's data, summary, or conclusions, then you could request an IEE, an independent education evaluation, at the expense of the district, unless you're in Seminole County, Florida, and then they'll just be happy to take you to due process, because that makes sense to spend tens of thousands of dollars over a $1,500 IEE, said no one.
Proof.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter is on tier 3, and they still do not, then they still will not do an IEP.
Tier 3 is an IEP. Tier 3 is an IEP. How many more tiers do you need? Yeah. So you guys have to learn to file state complaints, and we teach that in the 2-day. So the Epic IEP 2-day intensive, which we have live, the last one this weekend. And then you can always watch it on demand, and you can listen to the recordings back. So if you get it on demand, you can take it at your pace. And, this weekend we'll have people join us from beaches, balconies, bedrooms, bathtubs. If you're in a bathtub, we do ask that you keep, Cindy, your screen off. Yeah.
How many IEEs can a parent have the school pay for?
Not a fan of IEs. Not a fan of one-on-one paras. An IE, you have the least input, right? That you can get the most expensive, longest, amazingest IEE. The district has zero obligation to implement one single word from it. Zero. So if I can get it any other way, I'm going to try the other way.
My kiddo broke his leg in gym. He has a one-on-one, 30 minutes to an hour, 2 to 7 times a day. No one goes to gym with him. What is the best way to get someone to go to gym with him?
Identify that it's an educational need. Somebody said, what's the educational code that you just mentioned? So the code is 300.324, 300.324, 34 CFR, and it is to develop, review, and revise an IEP. Somebody said, have I ever advocated within New York City school system? I have, specifically District 75. I don't know if it was District 75, but I definitely have clients in New York.
When modified curriculum is required, who's responsible for modifying it? Is it the gen ed teacher or the sped teacher?
So a modification could not happen from a general ed teacher. A modification is a special education process that can solely be provided by somebody who is a licensed, certified, amazing contestant.
Can a sped teacher write a 504 plan for a general education student?
I mean, I don't see why not. Anybody can help write a 504.
My school does not have reading replacement programs. I just wrote a proposal. Thoughts?
Well, first of all, Chris just said New York loves you. I like that. So your district doesn't have a reading replacement curriculum? Is that what they said, Cindy? You got to change your name. I can't keep looking at Elena. Elena, Cindy, EC. So there's not specific curriculum that's required. They are required to have, a peer-reviewed, research-based curriculum that's an approved vendor for their state. So there must be some sort of reading curriculum that they have for kids that are struggling.
When we order our book now, we get the bonuses now?
You get the bonuses now, and one of those bonuses includes a free ticket to the Epic IEP Mastery Summit, which will be live. It'll be all day long, all day. Now, once the book is published, January 27th, all of that, like my natural hair color, gone. Gone. So.
How many days until that?
50. 50. Not that I'm counting.
Absolutely. Is there a percentage or like a cap of special education students in a DCT setting in a New York State classroom?
Not that I have ever seen. So there are some language and some state regs around ratios, but it would be so hard to quantify. Every child is unique in their critical needs.
It is 6:42. How many questions would you like?
42. I'm just kidding. Three. We'll do 3.
All right. What do I do if I request certain educators on a meeting, but they're never available? We keep having to postpone it.
So the school has a requirement to provide the stakeholders. You don't get to dictate which ones they are. So if they're a teacher that provides your student an educational product, then I would certainly have them at the meeting. Is there somebody super specific that you're wanting?
In what situation would you have a student have a scribe as an accommodation?
They broke both their arms. If that helps a student get down their thoughts while we're teaching them other strategies and technology for written expression. But it would not be a long game. We're not doing that, forever.
Forever and ever. Da, 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 da. Can you be above grade level in reading and have your math test read?
No.
Here are your 3 questions, ma'am.
No. Okay. Well, somebody said, can I get in line and ask a question as a teacher? So Des, with the alligator and the 3, what's your question, dear? There's Tanya.
Yes.
The rested Tanya. So you guys, if you want all of your questions answered every week, join the Academy. It's an amazing group.
Yes.
We love each other. We train each other. We're fantastico. You need this training weekly. You just do. So somebody said love listening and learning. Oh, thank you. All right, you guys, remember, get it right for the child, get it right for everybody. This weekend is the last 2-day live. Don't miss it. It's more important than, Christmas. All right. Talk to you guys in the next training.